Good morning, everyone. My name is Don Gertz, and I'm part of the Gertz team at Remax Little Oak Realty. One of our goals is to always make sure that we provide valuable and timely information to our clients and friends so they can make more informed decisions regarding their real estate. In keeping with that idea, the following information is our update on the real estate market in Abbotsford and Mission for May 2018. There are 5 areas in our market that we're going to take a look at today. The Housing Price Index gives us an idea of what pricing is doing over the last several months. Active listings is the amount of supply that we have on the market. The number of sales is going to give us an idea of what kind of demand there is. The active to sales ratio kind of gives us an idea of whether or not we're in a buyer's market or a seller's market or a balanced market. And the median days on market kind of tells us what speed of the market. For each section, we're going to consider all of the stats first, and then that'll cover all the property types, and then we're going to break it down by detached housing, apartments, and then townhouse. Now this is going to be a quick video, and we're going to just touch the wave tops for each area. So we'll also try to take a look at the 10-year historical numbers in order to better determine where we are today. So if you're ready to go, let's get going. As we move through the slides, you'll notice the three lines. Blue is for the whole Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, red is for Abbotsford, and green is for Mission. Our first slide is the Housing Price Index for all property types. You can see overall values have continued to rise with increases of between 16% and 25%. These increases are from the same month in the previous year. Breaking it down into the property types, we see that detached housing has increased by 11.6% in the Fraser Valley, 14.4% in Abbotsford, and 15% for Mission. Apartments have been one of the more active areas of our market as witnessed by the higher increases from the previous year of between 39 and 50%. Townhouses also increased significantly, but not as dramatically as apartments. A main contributor to the increase in pricing has been the supply or the inventory levels in our area. In the next graph of the last 10 years, you can see that our inventory has generally been trending down. In fact, our inventory for Abbotsford and Mission is less than half of what it was 10 years ago. An interesting thing to note about this slide is that you can see the individual humps of the annual market cycle. Each one represents a calendar year. Currently, our inventory levels are on an upward trajectory in Abbotsford and Mission. This is a good sign if you're looking to purchase a home because this will give you more selection. Detached housing inventory is up 14.3% in Abbotsford and 17.1% in Mission, while apartments inventory is up 47.5% in Abbotsford, but actually dropped by 33% in Mission. This drop in Mission is more reflective of the type of housing than it is that is common to the area being detached in the townhouse type. You can see this in this slide for townhouses. Inventory is up dramatically. I think it is important when we look at dramatic changes like this that we also take a look at the other factors involved as well. In this instance, we need to consider the actual numbers. Our inventory levels were so low the previous year compared to the demand, you might say it was almost non-existent. So when we look at the last 3 years, you can see we are still lower than the average. This comes more into focus when we're looking at the sales, which is how we measure our demand. You can see that even though our sales are down by 28% in Abbotsford and nearly 21% in Mission, they are still higher than the average of the past 10 years. This dramatic decrease points directly to how torrid our market has been over the last couple years. This slide shows all property types. The next one here shows detached sales are down 42% and 23%. Apartments are down 14.9% in Abbotsford, and Mission stats for apartments is hard to really define because of the much lower numbers, but we should be able to apply the general market trends to each area. Townhouse numbers are also down in Abbotsford but up in Mission. A lack of sample size is likely the bigger reason. When we compare the numbers of sales to active listings, we find out how much supply we really have. An example of detached housing in Abbotsford shows that our active listings are at 384 properties, while our sales are at 119. That's a 3.22 month supply. A more normal market typically would have between 5 and 7 months supply, so you can see that even though sales have dropped dramatically from the previous year, we are still in a relatively active market. Perhaps one of the most telling stats is the sales to active listings ratio. We mostly use this to determine whether or not it is a seller's market or a buyer's market. Anything above 25% is typically a seller's market, and below 15% would be a buyer's market. In between is what we might call a balanced market. So as you can see, we have mostly been in a seller's market these past 3 years, and when we were in a balanced market, we were most likely just passing through for a short time. Median days on market is a stat mostly used for determining the speed of the market. I like to use it to calculate my clients' timing on when they should sell their home. If, for example, you want to move by August 31st, we would work backward from that date. Usually there are 6 weeks from the time of an offer to the date that you move, so we would want to have an accepted offer by July 15th. Currently, the median days to sale is 8.5 in Abbotsford and 12 in Mission, so to be safe, we should be on the market by July 1st. Since it takes about a week to collect all the info on the property, take pictures and process the paperwork, we should begin the process of listing your property no later than June 23rd. Of course, this timeline can be impacted by many things, and you should always discuss these factors of uncertainty with your realtor on how they pertain in your particular situation. You can see in the graph that back in 2012 it took between 40 and 60 days to sell, so we would just have adjusted our calendar to compensate. Well, there you have it. That's our quick glimpse into the real estate market for Abbotsford Mission as of May 31st, 2018. Should you require more information, please feel free to contact me at 604-807-4442. We're happy to help when we can. Till the next time, have an amazing spring.